This is a story that I'm going to tell you now that no other channel will report. And they won't, because it's inconvenient to their agendas. We get you two stories, separated by geography, but united by tragedy. In Uttar Pradesh, a 19-year-old Dalit boy was killed for daring to love a Muslim girl. He wore his love on his sleeve. It was reciprocated. He was abducted, strangled, and buried in the field by the brothers of this girl. His name was Ankit. Unable to bear Ankit's death, the young girl committed suicide. Her body was swiftly buried by her family. It has been exhumed now. Post-mortems are being carried out. The three brothers who killed Ankit have been arrested. Across in Jharkhand, in the small village of Palamu, 50 Dalit families have been abused, thrashed, and their homes razed. A rampaging mob of Islamists allegedly turned their huts to dust. Women and children now aimlessly wander in the forest, desolate and destitute, adding insult to injury. The mob paid them 500 rupees and asked them to hand over their land to them. Rupees 500 was the price for their hopes, dreams that they had built for the last 35 years. The mob claims that the Dalits were encroaching on madrasa land. Instead of going to the court, viewers, like they have done in Bengaluru, this group of individuals decided to take matters into their own hands. Presumably they don't trust the courts. The Dalits plead that it's Sarkari land where they've lived for decades and no one can throw them out, even though today, viewers, they have been. Now, viewers, have you heard even a squeak about these stories? Had the identities been slightly different, what would have happened? We only need to go back to Hathras, viewers, to get an inkling of what would have happened. Every so-called secular political party and so-called secular politician worth his weight in salt would have shown up to hold a long dharna. But here, viewers, it's not the Brahmins. It's not Hindus. It is Muslim community and perhaps even reactionaries within the Muslim community that have done this. For so long, secular politics has been built on opposing upper castes and building a coalition of meme and bhim. Today that has been shredded, viewers, at the altar of bigotry. And because it is inconvenient, no one is coming forth. Is that really the case? Let's open this up. Let me bring in straight, of course, Tehseen Poonawalla, who represents or is a sympathizer of the Congress. Nalin Kohli is there, Dr. Ranganathan there also. Tehseen Poonawalla, very quickly. Why is Rahul Gandhi not tweeting about this? Why is your party silent about this, or the party you sort of sympathize with? Where's the BSP? Where is the MIM? Where are all these so-called secular parties? Where is RJD? Where is JDU? Where are all these stakeholders? Can you explain?
With regards to the Jharkhand issue, I have absolutely no doubt that the state government is going to rehabilitate the fellow citizens who have been removed from that land. Of course, it's
Which state government? The one that is sitting today in another state with cases of liquor. Is that the one that you're talking about that can't protect women in its own state? They are going to look into this issue. And why haven't they reacted?
I think they have already started the process of rehabilitation for these people.
Oh, really?
And the matter of the land is in court. And the matter of the land is in court. But they have started
the matter might be in court, sir.
And the BJP,
but does anyone have the right to take the law into their own hands? Don't make this about the BJP. I'm asking you this question. Where is the Congress? Where is, you know, it took more than a week for Rahul Gandhi to wake up to the plight of Ankita. Has anyone heard that video? Where she's begging for her life. It takes the great Rahul Gandhi 8 days to wake up to the plight of a person in a state where he has a stake in government. Can you imagine, viewers? This is a whole community. No, 1 minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No.
In
Uttar
Pradesh, within 48 hours, they had landed in Hathras. The sister, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, what did she say? Ladki hoon, lad sakti hoon. Where is that ladki hoon, lad sakti hoon today? That's the fundamental question, not a squeak, viewers.
Did the state government mock Ankita's blind declaration like the DGP Uttar Pradesh did?
Not a squeak, viewers. Not a squeak.
Did you have rallies for Ankita's
let me open this
like
up.
the BJP had for
let
the
me open this up. BJP will
rapists?
respond to you, sir. You want to make it about the BJP?
had
Go
a
ahead.
rally for
The public is
rapists.
judging you. Mr. Poonawalla, the public is judging your silence.
Ankita's
Your deafening
murderer,
silence.
Shahrukh, must be shamed to death.
You know,
And if
unfortunately,
I am
even
he should
today.
be stoned to death.
Okay.
BJP
One
had a
second,
rally
Mr.
for the
Poonawalla.
rapists.
Mr.
In favor of the
Poonawalla,
rapists.
a person is buried. No inquisition happened. No post-mortem happened. Buried to hide the crime. Another killed for his love. And you are talking about all sorts of issues. Nalin Kohli wants to respond to you politically.
Seriously.
No, 1 second. This should not even be a
BJP
political
had a
issue,
rally
viewers.
for the
This is
rapists.
about basic humanity. Nonetheless.
No, I have three things. No.
Yes. Respond. Nalin Kohli.
No, I think, I didn't expect this answer from Tehseen. The fact of the matter is, you can't say one rape is better than the other. As simple as that, you can't say one murder is better than the other. Because every day, on a daily basis, when a human being is killed, the religion follows. The person is born as a human being, later on the religions come. And I'm amazed that instead of actually looking at it from a perspective of why an agenda is built up every time a Muslim is killed, and why no tears can be shed if a Hindu is there, is a very dangerous thing by those who whip up the agenda on Muslim targets in that sense. If everybody looked at it from the perspective that why an Indian citizen and a human being has been killed or has suffered, there would be no debate. And there should be no debate as far as I'm seeing it. I mean, what has happened is terrible. Everyone has to speak the same language.
Absolutely.
Let's come from another point. What is happening in Jharkhand should be a matter of great concern. I mean, you've uprooted families and you're saying, we believe it is done. Give us some details, Tehseen. What has happened for the people who have been uprooted from their houses?
State government,
damage. We don't need a bland statement.
Dr.
If you say the government of Jharkhand is doing
fled,
it,
and I want to show you some pictures today. The state government, the chief minister and some MLAs have decided to run away, Dr. Ranganathan. And guess what they're taking with them? Glenn Livett and Glenn Morangi. I mean, Scotch, what is it called? Scotch whiskey of, the pedigree of that Scotch whiskey. Ye bhi nahi that settled for aristocrat or something. Can you believe it, viewers? Look at their tastes. So distasteful. They are going to have a booze party. And they've deserted. The betis of their state left them. On a day when we have broken another story of another tribal woman beaten black and blue. Dr. Ranganathan.
Rahul, this is a very important debate and I've been listening very patiently to both the other panelists, so wonderful. So please allow me a couple of minutes because let me be very clear, Rahul. Some people may not like it, but let me be clear. In this country, a Dalit lynched by a Muslim mob is considered a suicide, not murder. But if it was the other way around, it would not only be a murder of the victim, but also of democracy and justice. This is how the gangrenous cabal of propagandists have twisted the narrative. So while Jai Meme is unconditional, Jai Bhim is conditional upon the perpetrator not being a meme. We have seen this play out almost every day since 2014 by these gangrenous selectivists who claim they speak truth to power, but power to them is always Modi. Even when hate crimes happen in non-BJP ruled states, even now, they will try and convince you that this was not a communal hate crime. So what qualifies as a communal hate crime has now been reduced to media's own judgment. The mob didn't know that the victim was a kafir or a Dalit, or are you going to demarcate their ire into religion and non-religion components? Take the case of Palga very briefly. The ready identification of a saffron-clad sadhu is not enough. What if instead the victim was a skull cap wearing sherwani clad bearded Maulana brought out by the UP police and gifted to the lynchers with the BJP minister looking on? Would the media still have maintained it as a non-communal crime? Hell no. You cannot cure these propagandists, Rahul. They're like the Rakt Beej. Their every drop of blood spawns more of the same. They have been silent on more than 119 Muslim mob hate attacks on Hindus, Dalits and non-Dalits over the past 3 years, including Bharat Yadav, who was lynched after being called a kafir, including in Ranchi, where a Muslim mob segregated bus passengers based on their religion before wanting to set it on fire, including vandalizing a temple in Delhi while chanting Allahu Akbar and Nare Takbir, including lynching poor Gangaram because he dared to file a police complaint when his daughter was abducted, including going on an arson and murderous rampage in Bangalore over alleged blasphemy by a Dalit, including breaking a maid-cut statue, running amok with sports, thrashing Dalit families after they objected to a Dalit girl Sarita being assaulted by a Muslim, including nearly lynching a Dalit Jayant Bhatti for daring to wear a Pathan suit, threatening to kill him if he wears it again. None of these attacks elicit any outrage. Right from the fake church attack narrative and running selective hate trackers to multiple stories of fake Jai Shri Ram slogan triggering, they have perfected selective outrage. So we knew who Akhlaq was. But do we know who was Banu or Kitaram Bhil or Sawant Rathod or Vidhu Jain or Ayub or Farooq or Bharat? But now Indians have seen through their propaganda, Rahul. They have seen through it.
Well, I just hope so. Here, viewers, is an attempt to set the record straight. That's all. The perpetrator and the victim doesn't fall into the stereotype. So this entire brigade will ignore it. Mark my words. They will ignore it. I leave it at that.